Another week, another Supertest info with two new vehicles. And today we have Petra, aka Wine, from Italy. So I don't know what it's doing as a Czech tank. And the Stridsvagn TFM 53. And once again, these are tanks which I have to say, I didn't know that the Czech did a heavy tank with spaced armor and double barrel guns and so on and so forth. And at least the Stridsvagn kind of does look like it's based in reality. You know why I'm bringing this up? Once again, I'm beating a dead horse. The dead horse being that, hey, console also exists, apparently. And hey, console actually has now a Swiss Techtree. Well, not has yet, it's coming, but they have it announced during the Tankfest stream, as far as I'm aware. And why do I bring this up? Because I'm so tired of getting teased like this as a Swiss person. And I'm so tired of seeing next new tank designed to be in the game, to be fake basically, or not based in reality. At some point, I just wish that Wargaming genuinely showcases to us on what sketches they base their tanks on. Like, I get if I want to have realism, I can go to War Thunder. However, that's a whole other can of worms I currently do not want to open in this specific video. And I am aware that Wargaming and World of Tanks is an arcade shooter. I'm totally aware. And I do like that in World of Tanks we can, how should we say, go through what ifs, what if this tank has been fully designed from a sketch phase. I like that. I really do. Because these what ifs you can't really see in any other games. What just really grinds my gears, and I guess I'm here a little bit of Peter Griffin, Loish, is that come on, there's so many nations which we could theoretically have in World of Tanks, like the Swiss tree, I guess I need to show it in this direction to show up there, like Romanian medium tanks, like their TDs which I once showcased to you. And these are tanks which, for the most part, up to tier 8 are based in reality, and from tier 9 onwards they tend to be either fully fledged out concept studies and sketches and proposals which have been very far into the study phase, or more or less only sketches. But still, at least they were sketches which we, as the common user, can see. In any case, for the Swiss tree in World of Tanks console, yes, the first couple of tanks are tanks which are based on other nations, like Renault FT, the Vixus Cardinal Lloyd, the Czech premium tank, the Panzerwagen 39, the Ram 1, which is kind of weird, I didn't know we had the Canadian Rams, and the LPC 51, which is an AMX 13, which is true, Switzerland did use the AMX 13 chassis. Fun fact, we also put it basically on everything. We also have it on the LAV 25 chassis, which then was called the Movac, because the LAV is based on the Movac Piranha. And we also do have the KW 30 series, the Panzer 58, the Panzer 61 and the Panzer 74, where these vehicles here are real. They existed, they were being built. The Panzer 61 sadly lost out to the Centurion type series tanks with the L7 gun. And the Panzer 74 was a product of how it could have continued when it had enough funding before, in the end, in the middle of the Cold War, I guess, 1990. Oh no, let's not call it war anymore. In any case, we then changed to the Leopard 2A4. But yeah. Switzerland is now console. We are still waiting. We still don't have anything in tanks PC, which is crazy. Sure, the year is still young. Sure, there was this whole new 2.0 with tier 11s. But please, can we stop with all these fake vehicles? Now, 4 minutes yapping, let's start with the Stridsvagn TFM 53. The Stridsvagn is more or less an Emil II with a different armor layout. It has a 440 Alpha gun, like the Emil II. It has 33 seconds reload, which is 3 seconds longer than the Emil II. It has the exact same burst because it's a 440 Alpha gun, so it has 1320 burst in 6 seconds, same as Emil II. It has the same aim time, but it is more accurate, 0.38 versus 0.42. And it has much more gun elevation. And you might say, but Raptor, gun elevation, is that important? In actually quite a lot of situations, yes it is. So I've free-marked a couple of months ago the Manticore, video still in the making because it takes ages. And I had to notice that, goddamn, making the free mark there is annoying because of the lack of gun elevation. So getting a little bit more is actually pretty decent. But that's about it. Like, yes, you trade DPM for better aim time and more gun elevation. And that's not everything you're trading. If you continue, the mobility is almost the same. It has 1 HP per ton ratio more, which is good. If these soft stats are better, that's even better. But top speed is 40, same as Emil. Reverse speed is 13, which is 1 kph faster than the Emil II, which is great. And yes, it's faster than the TBT, but it doesn't even get close to MX 5120. And then you might say now, but Raptor, the 5120 doesn't have any armor. Hold. Because on paper, the Stridsvagn TFM doesn't have armor either. It has the lowest amount of hit points of all of these vehicles, 1750. The whole armor is 85mm thick, and that is, yes, it is better than what the Emil II has, but the Emil has a pike nose, which tends to bounce more, and massive lower plate. 30mm of side armor. Sure, it's angled downwards, so you should not get penetrated by RD, but the turret is 95mm thick, and I don't know how thick the gun mantlet is of the floating gun, let's call it that way. And that's just a pity, because on the Emil we know that you are very reliably bouncing things against same tiered opponents, unless it's a Chinese TD which is shooting heat, because it has like 400mm of heat penetration. This one, on the other hand, you basically are like a UDIS 15, 16 or a UDIS 16. You basically base your basicalness, tricks aside, on the sloped angle of your turret armor to try and bounce things with your effective armor. This is all well and dandy if you are straight or in a hold down position, especially with the floating gun. But as soon as somebody is slightly above you or is potentially shooting heat or high pen AP, these slopes will not work that well. So I'm a little bit concerned. At least it has 390m of view range and signal range no one cares about, plus it is going to be a pretty decent crew trainer for the Emil series of tanks and the Kranvan. And now we have the Italian wine tank. Before anybody says, but Raptor, do you hate Petra as a tank? No. And I also don't dislike the wine. The wine is actually really, really nice. So if you ever are in the Tuscany area in Italy, go and visit the Petra winemakers. They have a pretty cheap-ish wine tour to show them your whole facility, and it's included with wine tasting and a 3 or even 4-course meal. That was fantastic. I can highly recommend it. Petra the tank, on the other hand, as already mentioned before, like it just feels like one of these tanks where marketing said, lads, we need a tank which has a double barrel gun and it's a heavy tank and it's Czech. And the design team was like, do you have any bases on it? And marketing was like, And this is how it feels with the Petra. Like, yeah, what am I supposed to say about it? It just feels mid. What was that? Still, we don't want that. We want that one. I've decided to compare to the STRV II because it's a proper double barrel gun. The Yong Bing, which we just recently got in loot boxes, I think. And the Contender, which, yes, is not a real double barrel tank. The main gimmick of the Petra, because obviously every single tank needs to have a new gimmick, is that it has a very quick salvo charge time of just 1.5 seconds, which I think is half a second faster, even a second faster than STRV II, but don't count me on that one, because Tanks.gg did not showcase this easily here in this comparison view. It has 410 alpha, which is pretty decent, giving us a burst of 820 damage. And again, with 1.5 seconds, I should say, load up time, that is very quick. You can just pick a corner, bang, go back into hiding. That is really good. And the lock time is just 2 seconds. So even if you do it, you don't really get punished that much. Because in just 13.8 seconds you have your next shell loaded. With the Yong Bing it's quite a bit longer because you also have a longer reload time of 12.5 second base. However, you do have 440 alpha. The accuracy itself is bad. I'm sorry, it is what it is. 0.42, that ain't good, chief. It's the worst of the three we compare it to. And 2.8 seconds aim time is also very long. Yes, the STRV T is longer, however, it really does have pretty decent gun handling. Like, I love the STRV T. It's actually one of my favorite tier 9 heavy tanks in the game. It just feels incredibly comfy to play. So yeah, 7 degrees of gun depression, not bad, not terrible. It's the worst of the three we have here. Going to the mobility is mid as hell. Yes, it is not as slow as the Contender, but it has worse HP per turn ratio by around 0.9. No, 1.1, excuse me. Math is hard at the moment. My brain is cooked. It's too hot. And yes, the Yong Bing is slower on paper, but don't forget it has raketas, so it can go quite fast if it wants to up a hill or in a straight line. So the STRV T, in my opinion, is just winning this competition. 13 kph in reverse ain't cutting it either, chief. So this tank needs to kind of sell with its armor. And once again, armor values on paper are always a little bit hard to see. The thing is though, 1800 hit points, that's not a lot. That generally isn't a lot. The armor, on the other hand, 155mm of armor on a sloped angle, that's not too bad. The STRV T has 145, that's pretty decent, but it has a pike nose. So you might be able to side scrape this a lot easier, but we don't know the turret ring, or the turret looks insanely big, and probably the turret ring will also be around here, so you can't really side scrape thanks to the flashlight. Then the turret armor, 320 on paper, oh my god, insane. But where is it? Is it right in the middle of the gun mantlet? Is it here? Is it here? We can, if we zoom in all the way and see the pixels and smell them, we can see that this thing has a rangefinder. Is this part of the damage model? Is it easy to penetrate? Are these cupolas big? This one looks very big, this one looks semi-big. How easily are they pennable? So, yeah. Like, what I'm supposed to say, it's hard to say if this tank will perform good. It might be a really good hold-down vehicle due to the 7 degrees of gun depression and the insane turret armor on paper, and the fact that it can slap you for 810 damage. But again, it's just speculation when it comes to that regard, when it comes to armor. So it leaves us with these two vehicles. I like the Stridsvagn more. It looks more unique, it looks more fun, it looks more based in reality. I'm sorry, Czech guys, the Petra feels... Nah, bro, nah. So, let me know in the comment section below what you think about these vehicles, and don't forget to subscribe. My name is RagingRaptor, and I see you around. Cheers.